Welcome to the Dump Truck Toolbox. I'm Alan. I've been hauling dirt and broken up asphalt today, and we're going to be talking aim points. As always, thanks to Iron Sheepdog, they got us the job today. They really do help keep the dump trucks in our region hauling. So I'm still in training to drive a dump truck, and if you followed this channel, you know I've driven other large vehicles, mostly buses, and so I've got some experience and maybe even a little bit of skill in making a large vehicle move, keeping it between the lines, getting it around corners. But every large vehicle is different, and trust me on this, a dump truck is fairly different than a bus. So how do you keep it between the lines? That's been my challenge. This is a question, not an answer. It's been my challenge the last 4 days that I've been driving. So I just finished my third day behind the wheel and my fourth day total getting oriented to driving a dump truck. To me, when I am experienced and comfortable with a vehicle, it comes more or less naturally. So I'm used to the vehicle, and the way I talk about it is I know where the four corners of the bus are. And so today, I began the transition from where I always start with a new vehicle, which is using my mirrors. And mirrors are so important. Anyone who drives a large vehicle commercially will tell you that. And you see my head moving here. I'm driving my SUV down the interstate. You know, it's nice and dry and straight. And I've driven, this car has over 90,000 miles on it. So I'm very comfortable with this car. And yet I still, you know, I'm checking now. There's a red car coming up beside me. You know, I check my placement. I don't know where the four corners of the dump truck are. And that's an issue when you're driving down a country road on the way to a landfill with you know, 10 tons or whatever in the dump bed. So when I know where the four corners of the truck are, just instinctively, and something happens, that oncoming dump truck crosses the double yellow line, and I need my truck as far right as it can go, you know, I'll move. If I have any room, I'll move to the right. If I don't have any room, I'll hold my position and have to rely on them to fix the problem. They've got to move their truck back into their lane, and if they don't, they're the ones who cause the contact. They're the ones who sideswipe my truck. Maybe they take off the mirror, you know, maybe they scrape some paint, maybe they do something worse, but it's on them, it's not on me. If I don't know where the four corners of the truck are, like today, in a tight situation, if all I have is my mirrors, then it's hard to respond quickly and accurately. And so today I started using what for me is the second step, the intermediate step in controlling the bus, which is aim points. What's an aim point? It's a way of, through the front windshield, knowing pretty precisely where the vehicle is, where it is in terms of position in the lane. So you can see I'm wearing a different hat and a different shirt, and I'm heading off to my soon-to-be former driving position as a trolley driver for one of the local tourist attractions. So I'm going to be hauling passengers, but still talking about aim points. The trolley I drive, it's a great vehicle. I really enjoy it. So this is the cockpit of the trolley I've been driving. It's a little different than a dump truck. It's a rear pusher. So the only thing between you and whatever's in front of you is some sheet metal and a bumper. There's no engine up front here. You'll notice the mirror there, and it's a great mirror for seeing where the side of the bus is, and very key for sort of managing your lane placement. We've been talking about aim points, and the aim points I use on this vehicle are a little different than what I use on a dump truck. And so the aim point on the left side, like for the double yellow line going down the road, at least where I sit, is about here where the windshield wiper connects with the dashboard. And then the aim point for the right hand side line, there's a solid white line over there, or in this case a curb actually, that is right at the base of that windshield wiper. I think with all commercial vehicles you have to worry about a curb strike, rubbing the tire, or worse yet, actually slamming into the curb. And that's true on this trolley. But with transit buses, you have to line up close to the curb when you pull up for a stop. And I'm on my break here now. But even so, I went ahead and lined the bus up and parked it right near the curb within 6 to 12 inches so that if anyone's getting on or off the bus, they won't accidentally step into the gap between the curb and the bus and potentially hurt themselves. That I am right where I need to be. I'm probably within 8 inches of the curb, which is pardon my lack of humility, close to perfect for purposes of getting on or off the bus. On the truck I was driving today, my left lane marker aim point was a position where the A-pillar intersects the visible line of the hood, and it was back up the A-pillar about an inch. And so if the white line was intersecting there, I knew that the truck was going to be about 12 inches from that lane marker. The left-hand aim point is good, especially if you're trying to dodge something on the right. So, there was some, it's, country road, there's some mailboxes leaning out. And so I want to move left. How far can I move? So I can move, however far, 12 inches. And I'm not going to hit that mailbox over there. The more important aim point for me, especially today, is the right-hand aim point. And that's where on a two-lane road, the solid white line intersects the windshield off to the right side. And on the truck I had today, my aim point, just by coincidence, I don't think anybody designed it that way, but from my height, how far the seat's back, how far the seat was up, the aim point was on the wind deflector, the clear plastic sort of, whatever you call it, spoiler or whatever, across the front of the hood. And it happens to have a cutout for the handle to pull the hood forward and up. And so on the left-hand side of that notch in the clear plastic was an aim point where if the solid white line on my right was right at the bottom left-hand corner of that notch, then my truck would be about 6 inches from the white line on the right side. The outside tires would be running about 6 inches inside that line. Now, if you use aim points, you're going to go, oh, great, it makes perfect sense. If you don't use aim points, it may not make perfect sense. And I've trained a number of bus drivers, and I talk aim points and I help them to try to figure out aim points, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So aim points are a great tool when you're driving a vehicle you're not familiar with. For me, that's a dump truck right now, but it'll also be useful in other situations, other times where you have a new and different vehicle. So I'm helping a friend move this weekend, and he asked if I would drive the U-Haul truck. It's a 24-foot truck. I've driven this style of truck before, but not for a while. And so I'll get in the truck, I'll adjust my mirrors, because that's the first line of knowledge for knowing where the truck is in the lane. And then drive down the road a little bit without any furniture, figure out my aim points, go to my friend's place, we'll load up furniture, and then I'll be heading down the road with most of my friends' earthly belongings entrusted to my care and driving skill, and aim points will be useful because I won't drive the truck enough to get that intuitive sense of where the four corners of the truck are. Aim points are a tool. A good driver fills his or her toolbox with a variety of ways to handle different situations. For me, it's like the choice between a socket set and an open-ended wrench. Some people prefer an open-ended wrench. I prefer my socket set. I use it all the time. I probably use it when another tool would be better. And so if you have a way of doing something that works for you, great. Do what you need to do. But the more tools you have in your toolbox, the more likely you are to be able to handle a situation, handle it safely, handle it efficiently, handle it with the least amount of stress. So one of the things we're going to do on Dump Truck Toolbox is to explore a variety of tools. Tools that might help you as a driver, as an owner-operator, as a construction company or someone else who uses dump trucks, or as a dispatcher or broker. We're also going to have some fun. We're going to have silly videos comparing dump trucks in a variety of ways. And that's just because at heart, I think I'm still an 8-year-old, and I'd love to play with my dump truck. If you give me a big sandbox and a big dump truck, I'm going to be happy. And the bigger the dump truck, the happier I am. And so if you enjoy this type of video, if you enjoy dump trucks, and if you want to learn something from the people who join us on this channel, please subscribe. If today's video was useful to you, please like it. As always, thanks to Iron Sheepdog. They got us the work today, and they also help keep the dump trucks in our region hauling. Be safe out there, and I'll see you next time on the Dump Truck Toolbox.